I actually never went to a good convention. I went like to the local poor ones where it was smelling bad and everything was correctly. But one of my big dreams is to go like to one of the big conventions, and I hope I will grow as content creator and be able to go to the big ones and even meet my fans. I will see if I go as cosplaying as myself, or I will just go as a normal visitor and be like, hey. Did you hear about that guy, the Alten or something? No, he seemed good. He seemed good.
If you're one of those kids that spends too much time on that darn computer machine, then conventions are a great place to get the recommended amount of human interaction with others who share.
Yes, but usually I feel like when people go to conventions, they don't talk to each other. They just stay alone and visit stuff and go away. The others out. Yes, you know the channel?
A similar interest, or at least they were. You might have seen some conventions in the news recently, you know, the ones like VidCon, Comic-Con, and E3, but did you know there's conventions for all sorts of different things, like coin collecting, pens, and degenerates? The first convention I ever went to
Degenerates. You mean like Anime Expo and VTuber Expo, like us.
was in Arizona called Phoenix Comic-Con. I was 16 years old, and it, no exaggeration, changed my life. I had heard a lot about geek
Why does he have nipples on his face?
culture online, but Phoenix Comic Con was the very first time I witnessed it in its fullest. I was a very sheltered kid. It was the first time I'd seen a brony and a furry and whatever this
This is a brownie furry. Oh my god. What the hell is this?
is in the wild.
It's moving.
That changes a
She was one out, seem about right.
person. I was told that it was not cool to like geeky things, and as a 16-year-old, I tried really hard to make it seem like I didn't secretly like a bunch of geeky things. But people at Comic-Con just embrace nerd culture like they didn't care what people thought of them or something. Is that allowed? I guess when I was 16, I was hyper desperate to receive everyone's approval. I was so hyper desperate that while walking around my first convention, I was stressing out that I wasn't in cosplay.
I was talking alone again. Oh my god. I will stop muting my mic so you will hear me sneezing.
Whatever this is, in the wild. That changes a person. I was told that it
Thank you for telling me.
was not cool to like geeky things.
I will say this again because I was muted before, but before you were bullied when you were a geek or nerd, and it was really not a good thing to say. And it's same like now. Everyone is talking about how AI is bad. Before, everyone was talking about how the geek culture is destroying kids and future generation. But now, suddenly everyone is geek and it's a cool thing. But when we were like beaten in the classrooms because we like Spider-Man, it was not that cool.
And as a 16-year-old, I tried really hard to make it seem like I didn't secretly like
I was like, me, normal, me, not showing weakness.
a bunch of geeky things. But people at Comic-Con just embrace nerd culture like
Yeah, some people in conventions have no
they
shame.
didn't care what people thought of them or something. Is that allowed? I guess when I was 16, I was hyper desperate to receive everyone's approval. I was so hyper desperate that while walking around my first convention, I was stressing out that I wasn't in cosplay.
Boo, boo! Everyone shame him. He's not in cosplay.
Oh, all these pop culture characters are judging me because I'm not wearing any makeup. To this day, I still haven't ever cosplayed, but it looks like a lot of fun. If I did cosplay, I would want to go as this quadrupedic horse.
He saw one. It gave him a trauma, so he wanted to become one.
Also Spark from Pokemon Go. I went to one panel called How to Make Steampunk Weapons, but instead of teaching us how to weld real-life weapons powered by steam, the people on the panel taught us how to paint Nerf guns to make them look like they were powered by steam. And that was,
And the final result was probably ugly.
no exaggeration, the most disappointing panel I've ever been to. There was also a panel for bronies, but
This community changed the internet forever.
I was too chicken to go.
How about now? The audio's out. Will you go out, or are you still afraid of them?
Did I mention that my grandfather, who I'm named after, got drafted into World War II when he was 18? He fought in a war so I could go to a comic convention and be too nervous to talk to bronies.
Yeah, disappointment, right?
What a different life we had. At most conventions, people in the expo hall will sell a lot of super cool unlicensed merchandise.
Yeah, but Sometimes, most of the time, they are super expensive.
Yeah, a lot of artists will sell prints and plushies and oven mitts with characters and titles they probably didn't get the license to sell, but if it's at a convention or on Etsy, then for some reason it's okay. I've always felt weird about buying that type of merch. On one hand, you shouldn't be allowed to make money off of someone else's intellectual property with.
Well, if someone creates a game and you draw something from that game and people like your drawing for that game, you have the right to sell it. But if you take a picture produced from the game and you sell it, that's like a big no. Unless I don't know, that's blurry. Like I understand why people don't like it, but I also understand why people sell it.
Without the owner's consent. But on the other hand, look at this cool Bowser wallet, Bowser print, and Bowser bandana that I own.
Oh, someone have a type here. Like really like monsters.
And this body pillow.
Why it's blurry? You piece of shit. It's naked.
It's a moral gray area because the people buying this type of merch are the hardcore fans. They know of the property these characters came from. They probably already own licensed merch of the character. The artist isn't
Bowser is out. You have some degenerate level of What do you mean you understand? Okay, okay, I will, okay, I accept it. I accept it. As best friend, I can't argue with that.
claiming to have
I relate, Evan. You even want the same body pillow.
created the character either. It's a mutual understanding between buyer and seller that we both think Bowser is cool and we just want to buy as much merch as possible.
Yeah, this is what I said. Like, if you want Bowser in a hat or like as the body pillow he buy. If Nintendo was selling naked Bowser body pillows, yeah, the guy can't sell it. But if Nintendo don't give that service and people want it, then an artist can sell naked Bowser art on body pillows. For me, it's like a win-win situation because people will buy the merch and they will like the game and buy the games.
Kind of had to take it on a case by case basis, but let me just say this to get it out there. You're not allowed to sell bootleg That One's Out merch. Phoenix Comic Con actually had to change the name of their convention to Phoenix Fan Fusion because the people at the San Diego Comic Con didn't like that Phoenix was stealing their name. So these conventions that don't
Also, Even Comic Con created problems. That's wild. If they did that, I would be on the street with the Bowser body pillow for. You will have a room full of body pillows where when you come from home very tired, you just jump in it and get like some comfort.
care about stealing other
And you will have Bowser boyfriend experience ASMR mumbling somewhere in the room under the pillows.
people's copyright are forcing others to respect their copyright. Interesting. As some of you may know, since 2012, I have become a little more successful, and in 2019, I got invited to be a guest at Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is my home convention. The really crazy part is the convention put me in the celebrity line, like next to the people where you have
Oh,
to pay
that's actually really amazing.
for photos and autographs. I didn't charge my fans for anything, so that made my line appear a lot longer than others. And my line was, no exaggeration, right next to
If I go to this kind of convention, it depends on two states. If I'm making good money from my YouTube channel and streaming, I will make it for free. If I'm struggling, I will make like stuff for $1, and I don't know, or no, I think it should be free. Like make people pay $30 for something, a picture with you is no. That person already watch all your content, so giving you money.
Jeff Goldblum's line. I was gonna make eye contact with Jeff Goldblum. Jeff showed up for a couple hours on Saturday, and when he came
It was drooling, just like you with your body pillow.
out from backstage, everyone in his line and my line started wooing and clapping, and even I was like, woo! And then Jeff took a look at my line, then looked at me, and then gave me a nod of approval, saying, not bad, kid. He didn't say it out loud, but I could tell he said it with his eyes. He also said that I looked kind of cute, so thanks, Jeff. The first time I went to VidCon, that also, no exaggeration, changed my life. Again, it was the first time I met all these YouTubers that I've been
It changed. His life changed very often.
watching for years, and okay, I'll admit, at first I was kind of fanboy-y, but I've gotten completely desensitized meeting other YouTubers and feel no joy anymore. When I meet another YouTuber, I say, oh, you make videos in your bedroom? Me too. People know that
I hope I will never lose interest as he did. Like I want to meet other VTubers and YouTubers and be excited to meet them and share our experience and how behind the scenes everything is absolutely not professional. It can be funny.
You're a bedwetter too, right? No? That's just me then. If you've ever given me something at a convention, then you'll be happy to know that I've kept everything I've ever been given. Unless you're the guy that gave me a plastic baggie full of water and other junk and called it a homemade snow globe.
Excuse him, he was a broke fan. It's
I
okay,
used to
it happened.
collect snow globes, so it was a nice sentiment, but I didn't want to take it home with me and have it inevitably break and get all the important fan art wet. So I chucked it. And as I'm telling you this, there's some poor kid out there going, hey, he's talking about my snow globe. He threw it away.
That's a really bad feeling. Like, imagine talking bad about someone and the person is watching your video. Oh my god.
And now I feel bad, so.
Is it the same bag?
Here, I'll mail this to you and you can get a taste of your own medicine. I don't know why this is such a popular question, but a lot of times people will ask me, what's the weirdest fan interaction you've ever had? I think they think that some of you are cringy. I never have an answer for them because all my fans are super nice. Yeah, someone gave me a bag of water, but that's not weird, that's nice! Okay, I have received fan mail from a prison, which is true, so I
What? What? Oh my god, wait, was the person following me you before prison or went to prison then start watching you?
guess some
I would be interested to know.
of you aren't law-abiding citizens. Going to conventions and meeting fans and being on panels is a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't give you a lot of time to really experience
the the ponies or brownies or I don't know what they are called. They are really having fun.
the convention. Since 2017, when I would go to a convention, it would mean I was working. I still had a fun time, but I didn't really get to just relax with friends. That is, until I went to a convention last December called MFF, which stands for Midwest Fur Fest.
Okay.
Now, James, did you go to a furry convention? Well, I went with some friends to a furry convention
Oh,
so that I could actually enjoy a convention and not have to work. Although I still got recognized even though I was wearing a disguise.
what?
Furries are
Oh, your voice? What?
very touchy people, I've learned. Not touchy as in overly sensitive. Well, some probably are, but they're also literally touchy. Let me tell you where I'm at.
I mean, I okay, okay. I understand a little bit about it. So people make fursuits, they are called, right? And it's expensive and really hard to do. So as a fan, when you see someone with a fursuit, you wanna touch it because first you are furry, so you're attracted to humanoid furry creatures, and you want to know how it's made. So I do understand that they are touchy.
At my life right now. Last
It's
December,
like going to I don't know, convention for big boobs. Of course you wanna touch everything.
I was in an elevator full of furries, and if my
Oh no. You one rule in the furry convention is never to enter an elevator and give your butt out.
grandpa could see me now, he would probably
I'm kidding, I just made.
be frowning or smiling. I don't know, I don't judge. We were all crowded in. There was a moose breathing down my neck, and we stopped at a floor because more furries wanted to come in. So I backed up to make more room, but I backed up a little too close to the moose, and he grabbed my
Oh, the nightmare. Oh, I told you, even if I made it up, this rule is really important. Never give your butt in an elevator in a furry convention.
hips, and I went, ah! In my mind. I didn't say it out loud. In real life, I went. So that was probably the weirdest fan experience of Ad, if you were still wondering. I don't know if he was a fan of my YouTube, but he was definitely a fan of my body.
I was like, he touched you like never, and no one ever did before. That was surely a really bad experience to be touched like that. I was like, ah! Okay, you did. Okay, let's continue.
Or he was drunk. I don't know. Again, I don't judge. I was debating on whether or not I should include this story, but I think it would be a good lesson for everyone to hear. Here's my James PSA. This message is for everyone, and especially furries. Don't touch people without their permission. In the moment, I stayed quiet, but that sort of behavior isn't okay and I should have spoken out. Hopefully, most of you are
Maybe it wasn't like his portrait. Just he was coming near him, and he just like put his hand so he don't get too close, but the hands were like in the waist area, and he felt like he touched him in his waist.
Mindful of other
But still, it's really funny.
people's personal space. However, at least one of you went to prison, so I don't know. Overall,
Imagine it's the guy that was in prison that was in that fursuit.
it was the best ironic trip ever. At the end of the day, conventions are a lot of fun, and I really, really miss going to them. And when it's safe to do so again, I recommend you try and go to one you're interested in. And Grandpa, I'm sorry if I disappointed you. Hello, everyone. I hope you all aren't going too stir crazy out there, especially with no convenient conventions going on right now.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time. The link will be in the description, and we may react to other videos he made because it's really funny.